Recording your workflows have never been easier. Gone are the days of trying to store and share large screen recording files. And trust me, I know. Gone are the days of setting up software which is super complicated, or microphones that don't pick up your voice, jumping in and out of Windows settings, trying to figure out what is actually going on. All just to find out that your computer doesn't have enough juice to make a decent quality screen recording. And all this just to capture a simple, straightforward process. It all seems just too much effort. Now, let me introduce to you StepCapture, the easiest workflow documentation and process automation tool you will probably ever find. It's focused specifically on capturing, mapping, and automating your processes in a step-by-step format. The setup is super quick and it's a whole lot easier to use. Let me show you how. Now, before we jump into the meat of it, StepCapture is offering a lifetime deal starting at just $49, and it's accessible for only the first 1,000 people. So go ahead and grab your deal in the description below. Now, if you've used the link in the description, you'll find yourself on this page, and what you want to do is travel to the top right hand side and click on Get Started for free. You'll go through a very short onboarding process where StepCapture will just figure out who you are and what you'd like to use StepCapture for. I'm going to go ahead and click on Sign In, and I'm just going to go down to this I already have an account and add my details in. Righto, now once we've logged in, we're going to go up to the top right hand side. We're going to use Chrome. We're going to go down to extensions and visit the Chrome web store. Of course, if you're using Edge or Safari or anything else, it'll be pretty much the same process. You want to look for StepCapture in your Chrome web store, and this is the extension we're looking for over here. And we're going to just click on Add to Chrome, Add Extension, and we are in. Now, this is going to make our lives a whole lot easier. We're just going to close this over here and move this back. And now there are two ways to start capturing your processes. The first way is going to click on New Capture on the top right hand side. And what it will do is it'll automatically look for the open tabs that you have. So right over here, you can see I've got my current tab, and then I've got the channel dashboard, which is YouTube Studio, which I'll be using for this example. The second way of doing this is by going to the actual tab that you'd like to capture. And remember, we used the extension. So let's go to our extensions and let's just pin this extension over here because we'll be using it frequently. And now we can just simply click on the little extension on the top right hand side, and this will come up. And now you can simply click on Start Capture. But before we do that, we'd like to define one or two parameters. So you can do that by clicking on the settings icon on the top right hand side. Over here, you can customize how your click indicator is styled. So it'll either be a small circle around your cursor, or it will be a border around whichever element you're clicking on. You can also change the color of the border, and then you can also change the size of the indicator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to just use the border style, which is my preference. And now we can just go back into our home page, and now we can click on Start Capture. Now let's say I would like to capture a very simple process. Already what's happened is it has given me the first step, which is to get onto this page. It's also given me a URL, which of course we can change at a later stage because this is my URL. We can now see that wherever we put our cursor, it will now put that border around that. So let's go ahead, and every time you click, you'll see on the right hand side, it creates a card. So it's given a card description as well as a screenshot, which again, we will be able to at a later stage edit this. You can also pause, you can blur out, or you can delete a particular slide. So we can now, just for example purposes, we can go down and look at settings, and let's click on settings. And now we can perhaps go down to upload defaults. We can look at advanced settings, and as you can see, every time I click something, it's creating a new step in my process, and it is offering a short heading, and it will also offer a short description. So let's say that we would like to change the category. So let's click on the drop down menu and let's change it to pets and animals. We can then go ahead, click on save. And that is a very simple way of showing the process of how to change certain details. But now on the right hand side, you can see that we've got 8 full steps of what that process entailed. Let's go and click on complete capture. This will bump us back to our home page right over here, and now you can see your entire process. So in total there are 8 steps. There is a short description of what this is, and as you go down you'll see all of your steps. Now what we want to do is, on the top right hand side you want to click on edit, and this will allow you to edit each one of these steps. Okay, so if you go and put your cursor on the right hand side of the title or the description, you will see that there is a small icon and it says automatically generate title. So you can just click this, it will regenerate your title as well as your description appropriately. You can see on the left hand side, here are all your steps. You'll have the option to show your steps in a menu, and now we can go through editing. So let's say that this is not correct. We can simply just click on it and we can literally edit it. We can type it out here. We can also go down, and each one of these steps, as we said, the URL is incorrect, so we can just change that appropriately. We can also add steps in between our steps that have already been processed, and then you can change certain things like click here, right? So what we can do is we can say click on hamburger menu. We can also add that description, and then in the actual screenshot itself you can actually move it around as well as zoom in. So you can see over there we've zoomed into where we're clicking. Over here you can see it says click settings. That sounds great. Here it says click upload defaults. Here it says advanced settings. That's great. Click right icon. So here we can say open drop down menu, and that is a little bit more accurate. We can then go down and we can say, instead of click pets and animals, we can say select category, and that is more appropriate. And as you go down, you can just change whatever you need to change to make sure that it is more accurate. Now, once you are done with this, you can also reorder some of your slides if you would like to. But once we're done, we can also then just change the indicator style, indicator color, and the indicator size. But when you're done, you can go ahead on the top right and you're going to click on save. Now, once you've clicked on save, there are a few other options that you have. Once you've saved it, it will now show up in your dashboard. So if you just go back right over here, you'll see that it'll show up under your recent captures. To take this very capture and click on share and export, you'll have many options. First of all, you have the option to copy the link, and this will be able to be shared over an email or chat or sent directly to specific people. You can also set a password for it. So this means you can literally have it password protected. You can also have a password auto generated, and then you can also embed this into your platform. Maybe you have a website, maybe you have something else that you're using. You can actually embed this, and this will come up as a slide, or it'll come up as individual steps. So you can see that this is the way it looks when you use it as steps. And when you select slides, you'll see there's a get started, and you can go through each and every slide, as you can see over here. You can also go down to export, and you can export it as HTML, you can export it as Markdown, you can export it as a PDF, and then you can also download each and every slide as a zip file, and they'll come out as individual items in that zip file. Some of the additional options over here you'll find in this 3-dot menu. You can move this if you are managing different folders. You can also duplicate it if you'd like to make minor changes to a second version. And then, of course, you can just click on delete to remove it altogether. Now, don't just take my word for it. That lifetime deal is now live and available for the first 1,000 people. So go ahead and click on the link in the description below and grab it while it's still there. Until next time, take care.